You're tuned in to Ask the Good Doctor, live each and every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Central, and 10 a.m. Pacific. Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire is here to answer your questions live.
Hello, what do you know? It's Wellness Wednesday. I'm Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire. Welcome to Ask the Good Doctor. We are here to help you attain, maintain, and reclaim your perfect health. Please join me on Twitter at Ask the Good Doc, on Instagram and Facebook at Ask the Good Doctor, and jump into this conversation. Ladies, share this with all your girlfriends. We are going to have a conversation about our hair. Here joining us today is Linda Hamilton, CEO, President, and creator of the XPO X2O Hair Company. Hi, Linda.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, so nice to see you.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
I wanted to have you today because a dear friend of mine to the and a dear friend of ours to the show is Dr. PK, and she raved about your products. Tell us about HPO.
Well, XPO X2O, let me just give you what the acronym stands for. XPO
Please.
is exposure, short version, exposure. H2O is water. So the gist of it is exposing more hydration to the hair, especially when you're talking about curly hair. I want to expose more hydration to the hair, and we do that. And every single client that we see and everyone that I speak to, because without hydration, you don't get the moisture. And people think oil moisturizes, but oil do not moisturize. It's water.
Okay, pause right there. That is so interesting you said that, because that is a mindset that, especially in our community and many other communities, that we need to change. The Indians use the amla oil, and the Hispanics also use oil when they have a thicker texture hair. And certainly we use oil on our hair. How many of us use Dax, Dixie Peach, and Bergamot growing up and getting our hair pressed?
I did.
Well, may I be honest and out myself? Please, let me just say that I currently still use black Dax.
I see. Okay.
I do. I use it on my scalp, and I use green Dax on my hair.
I see.
Tell me all about it. To help me unwind myself.
Okay. So there's two train of thoughts here, if you will. Once you explain to me that your hair is relaxed and it's in a dry state, meaning blow dry, roller set, curling irons, that's a dry state. Mm-hmm. The other school of thought is a natural state, meaning that it's wet, it has hydration, the curl pattern is different, and I haven't blow dried the hair, it's in a natural state. So there's two schools of thoughts here. Now, when you remove the water out of the hair, like blow drying for relaxed hair, you remove the water out. You do need some kind of lubricant. I prefer silicone, a light silicone to keep the friction down. Generally, people use oil. But when you over here on a natural state and you have not blow dried the water out of the hair, it is wet, it is moist, it is hydrated. Oil does not live in a body of water. It separates. And therefore, the molecules are different. And so when you're dealing with a natural state that is hydrated with water, oil cannot go through the hydration process because oil and water don't mix.
That's right.
The two are incongruent. And what happens is the oil will take precedence and cover and coat the hair, and the water cannot get back in. It'll bead off the hair. It'll repel off the hair. So I want to make sure we're clear. You got two schools of thoughts here. Dry, relaxed hair, where they blow dry the water out. And then you got natural hair that is hydrated with water and plenty of moisture in the hair.
Okay. All right. The first time I left my house with my hair wet, thinking that I was going to just, let my hair air dry, I caught a cold so bad that...
Is that right? Oh, my God.
I could barely come back from it. Oh, my gosh. It was years ago in college, I said, well, let me try this.
Well, you should let it dry. in a natural state, whether it's air dry or a hood dryer, if it's in a natural state,
Okay. Okay.
especially with temperatures, that are, below freezing or even in the 40s and 50s, the hair really should be dry. And I encourage women to make sure that their hair is dry in a natural state. But with my product, when it dries, it looked like it has the wet look. So you're thinking it's wet,
Oh,
but it's really dry because the curl pattern and the shine makes it look like the wet look, but it's really
all right.
dry.
Now you said you're an advocate for silicone. So
I am.
then do your shampoos and conditioners and hair care products, do they have silicone versus uh, oils, coconut oil or castor oil or anything like that?
What my product has are they're all water based.
Ah,
So you have different degrees of silicone. You have silicone that is not oil, that is oil based or more lubricant type, and then you have silicones that are easy to dissipate and water based silicones. So either way, the hair needs it because that's the way to get the curl or to protect the hair from friction. But you can
uh-huh.
downgrade it by using a water-based type silicone. And so, yes, my product, especially this product here, has a water-based silicone that makes the curl, define the curl, and makes the curl pop, making it
Okay.
less intrusive in the body, washes out very easily, and it doesn't have a buildup in the hair.
I see. Speaking of buildup, when we first spoke, one of the things that you impressed upon me so much was the years of buildup on our hair because of oil. Say more about that and how long it takes to remove oil.
Oh gosh, this is where we really need to rethink what we're doing. It is a mindset change. I just want to give you some history in that in 1788, it's documented through history. As I learned while I was in Ghana on a trip to Africa, I was at the last bath. The last bath is just where they bathe before they go to Casa Elmina on Cape Coast to be shipped off from the door of no return. So during that historical tour, I learned from my tour guide, the historian, that during 1788 in slavery, we had the last bath. They bathed us and they lathered us down with palm oil and shea butter. The reason was because they wanted us to look like a too shiny, muscular mandingo. So we would sell. And it worked. But there was another component too, why the shea butter and the palm oil was used, because as they transported us on the ship, we were at the bottom of the boat, shackled, and there are
Mhm.
rats and rodents in that boat. So we couldn't scratch, we couldn't remove our arms. We had to stay shackled in place. And so as they crawled in our scalp and other parts of our body, the palm oil and shea butter was a protectant against bacteria.
Mm.
And so from that day forward, handed down generations after generations after generations, my mother, my grandmother handed it down to me to use oils, shea butters, and different petroleum oils in the hair. However, when you learn better, you do better, you know better. Science tells us that oil and water don't mix.
That's
So
right.
now we want to wear our hair natural. Went to the Science Museum in 2010 with my niece and nephew, and I saw a display that was oil and water. I said, this is a no brainer. Why do they have a
Mm.
display of oil and water? Well, unbeknownst to me, the scientific aspect was the molecule. So the molecular structure of water is such that it'll penetrate anything. It's just that small. It'll rot wood. It'll iron rust iron. Water even penetrates concrete over time. But the
Hmm.
molecule of oil is larger. It will never penetrate. It'll coat, it'll seal, it becomes a barrier. So
Yeah.
now thinking that it's in my hair, the oil is a barrier on my hair. I try to put the water in my hair and it doesn't come through.
Ah.
Therefore, over time, it builds up. And I give the
Mhm.
analogy of think of having fish. I like fish. I like it fried. I don't eat it always fried, but I like it. So
Uh-huh.
I fry fish for 50 years and the backsplash begins to build up. What
Yeah, yeah.
happens And how do you remove that buildup from the backsplash? You got to degrease it.
You have to
You got to
degrease
use
it.
some elbow grease to get that buildup off from the backsplash. Well, the hair is the same way. You know, you spend years and years and years of using these oils and butters and cream, and there's a buildup. And to the eye, it looks natural, but that's not your natural hair color. And we do have case studies to prove that there is a buildup on the hair, because over time, it takes time to get it off. And it's a journey of removing the buildup, but it can be removed. And so what I
How long
encourage
did
women, say again?
how long did it take you to remove the buildup on your hair?
It took me about 16 months to remove the buildup, 16 months. And I had to continuously clarify my hair, detox my hair, and then I began to see how the water was taken onto my hair. Not repelling, not running off, but sinking into my hair, making my hair waterlogged and heavy. So when the hair is waterlogged and heavy, the curls begin to, the ringling curls, you begin to see them from that waterlogged hair. So yes, it took me several months. I have one client, it took 18 months. And then I have
Wow.
another client, it took 8 months. So everyone is different in that your buildup is different. Your hair texture is different. And so
That's
your
true.
journey will be different in terms of removing the buildup. Yes.
I want to share a story with you. And I want to start with a photograph of me. This is me in a ponytail back in about 2016, 2017. My hair was extremely even more healthy. It was extremely long, and this ponytail was almost to my butt in a clip, a very large barrette. Yes. And that is my relaxed, texturized hair, air dried in this ponytail. I went to a salon probably 2 weeks after this photograph, and I had a deep conditioner in my hair, and it was a Dominican salon. They took it upon themselves to use a clarifying shampoo in my hair and washed it twice. My hair bird nested. For 2 hours, they combed out or attempted to comb out my hair and threw hands full of my hair away in the garbage. And I sat in that chair and all I could do was cry. That was so
Wow.
traumatic. That clarifying shampoo stripped in 2 washes, stripped every ounce of oil, stripped my relaxer and my hair color, because y'all don't know I'm a natural redhead. And so
Okay.
it was
Okay.
the reason why I have a texturizer and a relaxer was evident when I sat in that chair and they could not comb out my hair. That was my trauma
Well,
story.
from this,
Why do you think that happened to my hair?
well, it was too much for the hair, because already texturized and relaxed hair is at a vulnerable state.
Yeah,
Your S bonds are already been compromised to get it to be straight. And
yeah.
so on top of that, a clarifying shampoo, that's what it does. It strips it. That's how we strip buildup. So
Uh-huh.
you didn't need that harshness of a clarifier, and to have it twice, it was just double trouble, basically. And it
Ugh,
seems as though the cosmetologist should have known coming in that way. That was just an over processing of the hair, stripping it too.
yes,
Exactly.
yes.
So that's what it
Well,
does. It tangles, it mangles up, because it's so much friction. It's so much friction until it just mangled up was what happened.
right. Well, you've
Yes.
brought some beautiful before and after photographs that we're seeing right now. Thank you, Chris. These pictures of these beautiful hairs. Talk to me about the lady with this blonde afro here. And then, wow, look how beautiful it looks afterward.
Well,
Exactly.
the blonde is color. And we that love our natural hair have to be careful with too much color, because
Uh-huh.
just like your hair got mangled, that color is also very hard on the hair. It's a chemical. So when it's bleached too much, it's too hard on the hair. So you have to really soften it. It needs more hydration. And so what I did with just plain water and my water locking gel, I was able to give it some hydration and some love. And so if you
Yes.
see the first picture, it looks a little washed out, if you will.
Yes.
Yes, washed out. So by the time I brought water to the picture and actually locked in that water, it looked like it toned it down a bit. It made it
Yes.
vibrant. And then
Yeah.
the curls were defined, which made him very happy. And then he was able to have some movability because it was shaking, it was moving, it was hydrated more than it was when he sat down.
Yes. And then the young lady in the plaid shirt. Oh my gosh, what a
Yes.
head full of hair.
Yes.
And so this curl pattern on her is phenomenal. And it's not just for ladies, but it's also for the fellas. And the young man with the gold chain, his hair, oh my gosh, is
Yes.
so incredibly thick. But these curls, it looks almost like a Jerry curl, if you will.
It does,
Linda,
but
unless that's a dirty word.
no, it's not a dirty word. Jerry curls or, diva curls. Curls is curls. However, it is her individual pattern. We all have our different patterns. You have the wavier look, you have the coilier look, you have the curlier look, and then that tight 4C texture like mine that has a different look to it. So each of us have that curly look, and we go, oh, well, the closest thing we think of is a Jerry curl, absolute, but that's her pattern.
Okay. That is fantastic. Now, would you say that your products are more for natural hair?
No doubt. Specifically formulated for natural hair. But the neat thing about it, though, doctor, is when we formulated the product, we had that 4C texture in mind because the industry really doesn't address 4C. They address, the mixed chicks and the wavier textures and the coily textures. No one was really addressing my 4C hair. They call it like kinky hair.
Listen, I'm gonna proudly call my own hair nappy. All right.
Okay.
And now
okay.
people like to say you shouldn't call your hair nappy. No, my hair is nappy, and you don't know my hair is nappy because my hair is under subjection. My hair is right now. I have a fresh relaxer.
Okay.
All right. Air dried. Today is Wednesday. My hair was relaxed on Monday. This is air dried, relaxed hair. It's still wild and woolly. Okay. And I wanted it to be like this for you today. So I didn't do a thing to it. That's what I wanted because I wanted you to see. And when it's time for me to have, I usually wear 3 braids. And I had a friend, I said, comb out my braids and braid them back. And she went like this. This was the day before my relaxer. She was like, girl, it took her an hour to comb out 3 braids in my hair.
Wow.
1 hour.
Wow. Okay.
So
you have that thicker textured hair. It sounds like.
Is that more? Is that thicker? Is that tighter? Is that tighter than 4C?
4C is the tightest texture. So it's really, really tight. And I understand why you get the relaxers, but just I want to be totally transparent for you,
please,
because I love what you're doing and I want you around a long, long time.
Yes, I know.
These relaxers are links to cancer, and I want you to be more natural in your doings, and you can transition where it's really beautiful because I've dealt with tighter textures that was able to transition and still have beautiful locks. So just something for you to think about. We love to keep you around a long time.
Listen, that is why I'm always in a state of detoxification. I am always in a state of detoxification for those reasons.
Okay, good. Absolutely. And I'm glad to hear that. But as I was saying that every king.
Oh, we're losing Linda. Chris, put up her beautiful products so we can all see the beautiful product line that she has until she can get back on here. These are her products. This is the XPO X2O line that she's been discussing with us. We are so happy to have had her here with us today. Linda, thank you so much for joining us. Click down below in the link if you would like to get her products. She put a lot of things on my mind today, I tell you. Thank you so much, Linda. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you have learned a lot about kinky, coily, and curly hair. That's all I have for you today. I'm Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, and remember to let your eyes shine, cut back on the wine, get good food fast, and go easy on the greasy. Until next time, I am here to help you attain and maintain your perfect health. Let's do it again next week, okay? God bless you.